I hope you're all well. I'm going to go through another 3 mics which I used on my covers. And you may notice I'm back on the 33. Yeah, well, I've got it, so I may as well use it. And I do prefer it to the Icon Pro. The Icon Pro works well, I noticed, for what it's designed for. But, yeah. The 3 microphones then are going to be the Rode NT1. Let me put the pretty parts to the front as best I can. This one got a pretty part-ish. The Rode NT1, the SE Electronics V7, and the Sennheiser MD43. It's a catchy little name. 431 Mark II. Now, I'm going to speak through them just to say what I noticed and remind you. I've reviewed them, as you may know. And then I've got some excerpts from the covers I did, singing quietly and then singing louder. And I'll just tell you what I noticed, what I can remember when I did them, and what I notice now. So let's just go through them as they are. This is back to front. And desk is playing up as well. So this is back. Bear in mind, it's a studio mic and I'm hand holding it, so there's going to be a lot of rumble, as you can hear. And I'll try to be careful with the pops. So this is the Rode NT1. This is the Rode NT1 back to the Pro Icon, back to the 33. And now I'm back on the 33. Back on the 33. Back on the Rode NT1. NT1. This is the SE Electronics V7. SE Electronics V7. And this is the Sennheiser. The Sennheiser. You know which one it is. It'll be on the screen. Let me see if I can put them together, go through quickly. Okay. This is the Rode NT. Got to be very careful here. Going to drop a lot. I can feel it happening. This is the Rode NT1. This is the Rode NT1. This is the SE Electronics V7, the SE Electronics V7, and the Sennheiser, I'm on the 33. Well, what I noticed when I was doing it, and we'll have a listen in a minute, I was happy with the Rode NT. It seemed quite open, somehow very usable, but quite pleasing, very pleasing actually. I was a little bit surprised that I found it so enjoyable, I think is what I'd say, to work with. Quite big and quite open, I thought. The SE reminded me maybe a little bit of an SM58, but I prefer it. And I think it worked well with the song I chose for it. A little bit of popping, could have been me. It's a bit difficult playing the piano and the setup and everything. Yeah. The Sennheiser, pleasing, and I think a little bit old school, and yeah, a little bit old school, a little bit, it seemed to be open, warm in the bass, and smooth in the top, but quite expansive. I felt the NT1 seemed to be kind of clearer or truer. That's what I remember thinking. So I'm going to play the clips then, and then obviously edit the video and tell you what I think or anything I notice when in the actual clips.
They call it stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. They call it stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday's worse and Thursday's oh so sad. You see, man made the cars to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made electric light to take us out of the dark. I saw you last night and got that old feeling feeling. When you came in sight, I got that old feeling. The eagle flies on Friday, and Saturday I go out to play. The eagle flies on Friday, Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I go to church, I get down on my knees and pray. Man thinks about little baby girls and boys. Man makes them happy, 'cause man makes them toys. After man make everything, once again I seem to feel that old yearning. And I know the flame of love is still burning. There'll be no new romance for me, it's foolish to start.
They're all good, aren't they? As I said, happy with the NT1. It seemed to manage what I did very well. It was very controllable, rather like this. Not quite as controllable as this, but it seemed to be very even. And yeah, if it suits your voice, I could recommend it. The V7, I thought worked best on the louder stuff for some reason. Perhaps because with the softer stuff, there's obviously the detail and all that kind of thing. It isn't there so much when you're doing that kind of thing and up higher up in your voice, as I've mentioned before. It's less critical, perhaps. Good price as well. So yeah, that worked well for that song, I thought. Again, I think if you want the really expansive stuff, then you wouldn't use a dynamic anyway. And the Sennheiser, I liked it. What have I put here? Put something. Yeah, it seemed open and smooth, and something about it was a little bit old school, very difficult to say. Really, all good mics. Don't know what the price is. I think the NT1 is at 250. The SC about 70 to 80, I believe. And I think the Sennheiser is quite expensive for a dynamic. Don't think there's much more for me to say. I'll leave it all with you and see what you think. Just in passing, finishing, somebody did mention, I don't hear it now, I don't hear it in this room, in this system I've got here, but every now and then I thought I heard quite a high-pitched something or the other. So I apologise for that. I've got to figure out if it's there, and if it is, it's something to do with the one I use in the kitchen for editing, because it's kind of handy. It's near the wine. Yeah. So maybe if some of you have noticed that, then maybe leave a comment. Heaven knows I'm going to figure that one out. But anyway, that's by the by. It's only very slight, but I'd rather not have it, obviously, if it is there. So there we go. I hope that's been of some use to you all. And I've got some more to do. I've got the Rode Classic coming up and another Sennheiser Dynamic coming up, and I'll choose one other mic for the next 3. Keep well. I'll be seeing you. I do enjoy this.